Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to Go Live with Glow. I am a minute late. Y'all, I'm slipping. I have never in my life been a minute late. Like for this show, I've been slacking. It's definitely time for me to regroup and go on vacation, come back refreshed since outside is out and open and it's calling me. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. I have a special guest coming on tonight, Mr. Andrew Moore, also known as Mr. Drew NYC on Instagram. Just waiting for the rooms to fill up, waiting for everybody to come through. Everybody keeps asking me about my shirt. I'm going to tag the website that the shirt came from. It was actually a gift. Yeah, happy Thursday. April is flying. April flew by. And then now we got March, look at me. We got May. First week of May is almost over. We got Mother's Day on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Happy early Mother's Day to all the mothers that are joining the live. Yeah. Been just grinding every single day. Every day, all day. Every day. Like I said, I'm ending Go Live with Glow. Hi, boo. I'm ending Go Live with Glow on May 27th. That's going to be the last episode for the first half of season 2. Then I'll come back in September and I'll film some more. I just want to work on some other stuff that I want to work on. Thursdays take a lot to track people down, to see if people will show up, to come have this conversation with me on live. Thank you for the happy early Mother's Day. So this is a lot of work, day in and day out, every Thursday. Just waiting for the room to get crowded, waiting for the guests to show up. Busy man. So May 27th is the last episode. May 20th is the birthday of Go Live with Glow. Go Live with Glow turns 1. So I'm gonna have a virtual birthday party for Go Live with Glow. So I'll have more details about that in the coming weeks. And I just want to leave it on a high note. I want to enjoy my summer. I haven't been outside really since last year. Pandemic hit. My son was only 6 months. After going through postpartum depression and then going through a global pandemic, I just want to go ahead and just enjoy, like everybody else, especially since I'm fully vaccinated now. But that's enough of me rambling. My guest has definitely joined the room, so let me go ahead and request him. Right now. Hey,
What's up? What's up?
what's going on, Mr. Andrew Moore? What's going on? You're a busy man. Thank
Oh
you
my,
so much.
oh
Thank you.
my God! You don't
How
even
has your
understand.
day been? Tell me
Yeah,
about your day.
I don't know where to start. I was actually out in Brooklyn dealing with some clients, and I had to rush back. I'm like, damn, I need to make sure I get back in time for 8. The traffic. First of all, we are 100% back to New York City traffic.
We are?
Yes, it is terrible out there. Terrible. But long story short, I made it back, and I'm looking forward to this live, and
Oh my God. I'm sorry
I was
having
having a good time.
issues. I'm having issues with my light and everything else.
I'm actually outside. I thought out here would be the best way to do it.
Well, yeah, we can kind
Oh,
of see. So I did like a soft intro. Like I always introduce my guests, waiting for Mr. Andrew Moore to come on here. I also gave
mhm.
like a shout out to your other Instagram page, but you could
Wait.
reintroduce yourself to everybody that's joining now, because it's like people are starting to join now.
All right, cool. I see some of my family members in here, my sisters as well. So my name is Andrew Moore. I'm actually from Brooklyn, New York. Born and raised in East New York. Grew up there as well. A little bit about myself. I played basketball. A lot of people know me from playing basketball throughout New York City. Went to Paul Robeson High School. Then went upstate, did 2 years playing basketball. Then finished out my career out in Dowling College out in Long Island. I
Okay.
studied business management and computer information systems. and then got my MBA in business management and leadership. Um, from
Okay.
there, yeah, um, from there, I actually transitioned into. I'll give you a little bit of, a little overview of everything.
We got time. We got
All right.
time. We got
So
time.
from oh man, this guy's starting to cut his grass. Um, so from there, if you can't hear me, let me know.
No, I can hear you good.
All right, cool. So from there, I transitioned into becoming yes, I
One
am.
of the
Oh,
more kids. It's one of the more children.
yeah, it's one of them. It's my son. All right, go back real quick, Axel. Thank you. It's my son, Axel.
Hi, Axel.
Say hi. All
How
right,
are
cool. Thank you.
you?
All right. So from there, I transitioned into becoming an assistant coach, and I also was a part of the admissions office at the school. Did that for a couple of years. Then I had the opportunity to go work for the NBA.
Really? I never knew that.
Yeah, I was with the NBA for quite some time. Did many different production um, stunts with them, and also be a part of their production side as far as with Turner Sports and NBA TV. Then traveled all over. Did a lot of stuff with different players. I did the whole inauguration to the Brooklyn before the Nets came to Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Um, that whole transition year, stayed with them most of the year, and then from there, once I started, my family started to grow, I realized that I needed to find something a little bit more, not say more stable, but something that required more of my time to be available to the family. So from there, I transitioned over to what did I do after that? I actually was with a financial firm, and then from there, I actually went to P-Tech High School in Brooklyn. So I'm actually an administrator there. And I've been there for the last 10
Wow.
years.
You a
Last 10 years.
working man.
Yeah.
Working man.
So I've been there for the last
Working.
10 years. On top of that, I'm also a licensed real estate agent as well. So I'm with Avenue Sotheby's International Realty. So I'm quite busy and all over the place, but it's pretty stable. I found myself a
So
little.
how do you carve out the time for your family? Because I know you guys just came back from Hawaii. How was that?
Oh, how can I describe Hawaii? Hawaii is, picture everything that you want in the U.S. that's available there for you,
Hmm.
but you're just on a beautiful island with 87-degree
Mm.
weather every single day, and it just feels like you meant to be there forever. Like you don't need to leave. Everything is there for you. And it's just, I can't describe. It really is the definition of paradise. It
So
is.
it's an oasis, basically,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Like, oh, it's the beaches, I can't describe it. And
Why Hawaii?
what I like about it, huh?
I said, why did you guys pick Hawaii?
So actually, my best friend, he's a pilot, and he was like, "Yo, listen, you guys need to come out to Hawaii. I'm actually doing a trip there. I'm going. He's doing one of his legs is to Hawaii." So I was like, "All right, so be it. We'll make it happen." And literally, that's how we got there. Like it was like last minute, and we decided to go. Um,
I need some of your friends. Like your friend is a pilot. You was like, it was like last minute. We just kind of
yeah,
like just got on a plane and just flew to Hawaii, like
last
with the
minute
kids
decided
and
to go
everything.
with the kids and everything.
What kind of
Did the
plane does
right
he
thing.
fly?
He flies for Alaska Airlines.
How was the kids on the flight? Isn't it a ten
They
hour
were
flight?
actually, so we took it. We actually had a layover in Seattle, but they were really cool. Like no issues, nothing. Like they didn't like nothing bothered them. And also too, the flight attendants on there gave them whatever they wanted, but they really were like they ready to go back. They're like, hey, what's the next trip?
How
You
many
know,
days did y'all spend out there?
about a week. He was there for a week.
Wow. So how did you get into the real estate business?
So that's a great question. So I would say probably about 9 years ago.
Hmm.
I used to do a lot of promoting, doing little parties here and there, and I found a lot of my core group and people that I see around. They used to always ask me, "Hey, listen, I need an apartment, or I'm looking for somewhere to stay. I'm looking for, I'm looking to buy, I'm looking to purchase." And after a while, I got like tired of people asking me and me not
Hmm.
doing it for myself. So I just say, let me go out and just, decide to get this license and jump into it. I could say it was back then. I started out with a small boutique firm, and it was like on like a little team setting. Back then, that was the thing to get in with a team, and you want to, that's the fastest way to learn, get your feet wet. You
Right.
with more people that's been in the business for a little longer, and you're able to establish yourself a little bit quicker. But it was like New York City real estate. I'm telling you, it is brutal.
I know I didn't pass my exam.
It has that's beyond the
I
exam is one
failed the
thing.
exam. I couldn't even get past the exam.
The exam is one thing, but I can tell you right now, it is so brutal. And I mean, as far as just the nature of the business, like if you don't have a level of thick skin, you won't make it in this business.
Well, it
That's
sells, isn't it?
it's more sales, but you got to have that personal relationship to be able to deal with people and how to nurture it and cultivate it so they be able to best serve you and also best serve them. And if you can't do that, this is business not for you. That's why the turnover is like at 94%. People get in it. It's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
The barrier to entry is very easy, but you will not survive. It would chew you up.
And how have you been surviving for 9 years of the game?
I don't say I think I have what I learned how to deal with it because when I first started, I did a lot of rentals,
Hmm.
and rental market would teach you it's a real like you got to learn how to like be very savvy and also be very strategic on how you orchestrate your deals because these people have zero loyalty. No matter where you are, they have zero loyalty. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
You show them 20 places and you thought you found the right place, and then boom, they're like, "Oh, and I found something already." And you're like, "What do you mean? I just went out for you the last 4 days. Like, what do you mean?"
Right.
And then it just disappear. Like literally just disappear off the face of the earth. Don't call you, text you, nothing, emails, done. So what I learned is over that, I was like, you know what? This is something that gave me a huge like learning experience of like what to do and how to be able to control your time. So I started to like really cultivate ways to make sure that my time was the most valuable.
Okay.
Some do like they have them sign a contract or they make them do. I didn't really do that. I figure I'm gonna make sure I get this person the way I know it, and I'm gonna control it my way. Either going out to get the listing myself and make sure like they come to me, or I'll just put them in situations where I know there's no way for them to go anywhere else because I'm protected. You know.
Give me an example.
Mm. As far as that, all right. So perfect example. Actually teamed up with a company that they were like do outsourcing with leads, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and by doing that, they somehow I don't know what they did on their end, but they locked them in, right? And they pretty much nurtured the relationship before they even came to me. So although I had to give up a certain percentage of the commission, I was
Right.
able to work them, and usually these are like higher end clients. I was able to keep those clients on my Rolodex and be able to keep nurturing them throughout the years. So I was able to lock that in. So I found like a little niche of it in the industry to be able to constantly cultivate different leads and different opportunities to come into play. But what I learned from that is very taxing. As far as like your ability to have to constantly show different apartments, it gets a little overwhelming. So what I ended up doing was say, you know what, I need some more of my time to free up because I'm also still working a full time job,
Right.
right? So I said, you know what, let me just focus strictly on sales, and that's probably the best and smartest move I could have ever done.
Why you
Uh,
say that?
because sales allows you to one. It takes anywhere between I'll say no more than 2 to about 3 months on an average deal to close a sale. But the volume and the commission is much more higher. So I figured, all right, cool. If I do 5 or 6 of these years instead of doing 20 or 30 rentals, I'm not going to I'm not going to burn myself out, you know.
Right.
And then also too, teaming up with a firm such as Avenue Sotheby's will give me the greatest opportunity to grow. Because if anybody knows Sotheby's, they are like the premier. When you think of Sotheby's, you automatically think luxury, high end,
Right.
prestige, like this prestigeness of the company and everything that aligns with it. So you're held to a very, very, very high standard, you know?
Right. Like if the
And
clients are getting the the red carpet treatment, the champagne, the
trust,
closing. I
trust me,
used to work at a development company and we had Sotheby's on the list when we did the broker parties and the real estate
mhm,
parties. A lot of the people came inside of here. So I already knew what kind of clientele they had. Everybody had like real money, no play money. People were really in the business of buying. So
yeah,
when they came to look at the property, they wasn't trying to waste your time and they was really trying to put their money where it was at.
absolutely.
Unfortunately, the building was like kind of like shitty. It wasn't shitty, but it was just
they the only leverage that they had of the building was that it was complete.
Mm,
It was complete. That was the only leverage that they had, but it wasn't in a new building.
mm,
It wasn't new. There was no tax abatement.
mm,
They couldn't get none of that. And it was no real amenities. They had like a little room with like a bike in it, and they was really trying to push these like 500,000, $600, 600,000 studios that they turned into one bedrooms by creating like the little Chinese wall. Like it was crazy. I was all the way downtown. I was like, yo, y'all are bugging, and people are really in here like, nah, we can't give you that for that. So that was the only leverage that they had, and a lot of Sotheby's people was like, yeah, this is not what we're looking for. Our clients want to be in a brand new building from the ground up. You know, you can kind of see the construction. The only reason why this building is already built is because they never took the construction out of it. They just kind of like refurbished it. Like
mm.
everything was kind of like refurbished it and went in and just kind of like refurbished the building. But yeah, like I remember like the Sotheby's, like the realtors from there, pretty prestigious
And it's
clients and employees.
yeah, but I also tell people, being a black man in this business, it's actually 10 times much more harder than people could imagine.
Why you
Um,
say that?
if you're held to a greater, higher level of standard compared to some, to other counterparts, so you have to go above and beyond, you know, to prove yourself. And that goes for a lot of other fields, but especially in real estate. For instance, I'm 6'6", so I could tell you some situations where, you hear my name, you would not think, you know, you will say, "Oh, this guy's black." You would not think it. I've been
Right.
so you schedule an appointment and you standing outside, mind you, it's like say it's the appointment is 6 o'clock. You never met this person. You only met them through email and phone over the phone. But
Right.
you 6 o'clock, they're there at 6 o'clock, and they're looking around like, but they're nervous because they see me tall, 6, and you got to break the ice. Like, hey, how you doing, sir? Blah 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 blah. And they're, oh, Andrew, and they're like, oh, and then you see their whole demeanor, their mannerisms, everything change. You're like, oh, here we go. If I could wear a camera and I could show you my experiences I've dealt with, people like, you got to be kidding me. Like, no, this is
So how do you get them to drop their guard though?
I don't know, just, make a joke or lighten the mood. How was your day? You got nice shoes. Oh my God, your bag. I'll say something to make them feel comfortable, and they're like, okay, this guy's human.
Okay.
Something of that nature.
I think that's key in all sales is to be human. I think the more human you are, the more you kind of get people to let their guard down. I was talking to one of my coworkers today. I do tech sales for a
Oh,
tech company. So what I'm doing is more so cold calling. So like we definitely get banged on all day. They banging the phone on another click. Like we don't want anything that you're doing. But if you could get somebody on the phone and have a regular conversation, like how's your Friday going, or how's your Thursday going? What's going on with you? Like what you said was like important. Like it takes about 3 months for a deal to go through, and literally we are like the first people that you come in contact with before you even get through all the rest of the layers of the other people in the company. We are not. They're like, oh, it's a sales call. I'm like, I didn't even tell you what I'm trying to give you first. It's not really a sale because I don't really give you anything and I don't really take anything from you.
yeah.
I don't get your credit card. I don't, I don't, you just know my name. I know your name. I ask you a few questions and then, I just set you up for an appointment for you to meet the next person that you got to go ahead and meet. So, you know what I mean? Sales is definitely not a weak man sport.
It's not.
Yeah, you really not.
Every,
So, go ahead.
every 2 days are not the same, so you really have to like really dig deep. Read a lot of books. I'm big on reading books, podcasts, constant like personal development because you'll get those days when you're down. You're
What are
down.
some of your books that you read? Tell me a good book, because I'm picking up. I got a few books over here. I got a few books.
Yeah,
Let me go grab my book. I got a few that I gotta start reading. A few. What's a
what do you
good
have right
book?
there?
Okay, so I have Love from the Vortex. My
Okay.
homegirl gave me this one. Jotty Bell, my homegirl, she gave me this one. So it's like a collection of like poems, um, and like other things to read inside of here. I actually have a book that from a guest that's coming on my show. Her name is Griffin. So she wrote a book about her experience
Oh,
with
sweet.
child sexual abuse. So the unconscious community. So I'm reading that. And then I also have another book in here that I'm reading. I got a few books that I'm reading. I'm reading like 12 books at the same time. I've never done that before ever in my life. Read multiple books on top of each other because I don't even know where I'm going. Like I don't even know what's going on, but I
Right.
have to read a few books. So, what are some of the books that you
So
read that's good for this
the
point?
4 hour work week, the Millionaire Mindset. What else? There's a few other ones. What's one I just read recently? It was my brain just went blank from being a long day. What was the other one I just read? The Millionaire Mindset. Oh, Ninja Selling. That's one I read a lot. That's actually recommended by the firm, my Apple
Really?
firm. Yeah,
What is it
Ninja
about?
Selling. So it breaks down like how to, and this honestly that this book actually transcended my entire viewpoint of how real estate should be operated. It actually brings you back to like the human aspect of it, like make
Okay.
you take a approach where a lot of people won't ever think of when you think of sales, right? So it really
Hmm.
breaks it down to like you really taking steps to really nurture your relationships, your people you're talking to. Like you don't, you make them feel as if you don't make them feel, but you nurture the relationship to the point where you're the only person and they become like their trusted advisor for everything that they ever could think of, and it goes beyond just real estate, and I've seen that even to some of the clients I work with now. Like now I can
Mm.
just, they call me, they sending me pictures of them on vacation, they sending me stuff for happening at work. So it become now like you're that person that they've been missing the whole time. And
Hmm.
then bang, next thing you know, hey, listen, I've been thinking about selling. I'm thinking about buying, and they're gonna trust you because they have built that rapport with them that your word is that much valuable, and they're gonna trust every decision that you make. Me being their broker, to make the decision for them on the sale or the purchase, and trust me, it has helped
Isn't
a
life
lot.
about building relationships with people though anyway?
Absolutely, and I
So
think
this
a
is
lot
your
of
way that you
people,
foster those relationships?
yeah, I agree, and what you thought of, when it comes to sales, I used to think like you got to get it, move quickly and, try to always think about, okay, what I'm going to make on this deal. Once I remove that out the equation completely, like you'd be surprised, man. The doors open up. Like you just remove your thought process of like putting what your earnings will be, or just focus on what you're going to do to better yourself and better that person that you're working with. And then from there, the doors are going to open up. I'm telling you, the blessings come down. Like some days I don't have to even do anything and I get referrals.
Mm.
Like it just falls into my lap. Hey, listen, I know you do this. Can you help me out? Oh, hey, I have a friend. It just constantly come in to the point where it's like I try to like control how much I take in,
Okay.
because I'm like I don't want to overwhelm myself because I can't be my best if I'm taking on too much, you
Right.
know. So I try to like control it and try to see how I'll be able to work it. Some of my closest, I try to like help them along the way, but it's still challenging, because you still have to, even some of your closest friends that you work with is you look to try to work with is the ones that actually you thought that you pride the most, and they go the different way. That happens a lot. You
How do
know,
you decompress though? Because you have a lot. You have a family, you have a wife, you have kids, you have your job, you have a full-time job, you have a side job.
no, that's actually two full-time careers. I don't even call it as a side job anymore.
Well, not
That's
even a side job. Look at that. Like it's not. But I mean, like
I can't even call that a side job anymore.
you got a lot on your plate. How do you
How do I
decompress and how do you
decompress?
compartmentalize? How do you compartmentalize your family with everything it is that you're doing?
I think by me taking like, even if it's like 2 or 3 minutes out of my day, I do meditate. I
Okay.
can tell you right now. I'll tell you one right now. Meditation is the key. A lot of people suffer from anxiety, depression. Just take 5 or 10 minutes, sit in a corner by yourself. I could share the apps that I use, Insight and Calm and all the other apps, and just
I have
really
headspace.
just,
You have headspace?
they have Headspace. I used to use that when I'm running.
Okay.
They partner with Nike.
Okay.
Um, and just take a couple of minutes to breathe, like just to breathe and practice breathing and sitting down and just really being one with yourself. You'd be surprised. That works. And my other way for me to decompress is really, I'm a big runner. So if everyone knows me, I run half marathons. I run, well, mostly it's half marathons. That's it, and 5Ks. You know,
Hmm.
um, and I usually just use that as my time to like be to myself. Like that's
That's,
the best way to do it. I got the Peloton now, so I just go on 30 minutes on that, and your life has changed. Trust me.
I need
'Cause,
to get me one of those, but I need the space for one of those. I don't have the space for a
yeah,
Peloton. So
Peloton
how has
is.
COVID like changed your whole perspective? Like, did it like affect you in any way? Or I keep asking the question because like it's like getting, coming back into society for me, honestly. Like being
Mhm.
away and trying to get, comfortable coming back into the world.
Right. I would say for COVID, it actually gave me. I think I needed that time to like relax. And anyone that
Mm-hmm.
knows me, last year, oh my gosh. So normally this time, to bring it back, normally this time I'm usually preparing for like the Brooklyn half. That's like one of my. I love it. I love running the Brooklyn half.
Right.
So last year they canceled it, but in my mindset, I'm like, yo, just keep training as if the race is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So literally 2 days from now, it will be make a year. I think the 10th, whatever the 10th is, or the 8th. Um, it'll be a year since I broke my foot. Now let me tell you how I broke my foot. So literally, we used to live out in Queens, and I'm out there running, not even a minute or two from the house. Like I got my headphones on. I'm ready to prepare myself for this 6 mile run that I normally do.
Mm-hmm.
The sidewalk is uneven. I thought like somebody like threw something at me. The crunch that felt through my body was just unbearable. So I had to literally crawl back. But the bad part about it, this is the height of COVID, so you couldn't just walk into the hospital,
Right.
right? So I'm driving myself now, multiple different places all over, trying to get in to to get seen by a doctor. Nope, you gotta have an appointment. Nope, can't be seen. I'm like, yo, my foot is broken. End up having to go to like this other hospital. They end up seeing me. They ended up putting me in a slant, took the X-rays and everything. It's like, yeah, you got to most likely got to get surgery. And I'm like, oh boy. So you go through the doctor process, try to get different people to opinions or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And I realized, like, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let me take some time. So I knew with the temporary cast, I'll be able to be good.
Right.
So crazy enough, I'm actually out after work one day, and this is funny. This guy came to me on the street in Brooklyn and was like, yo, what happened to your foot? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. I was like, honestly, I think I have to get surgery, but I'm not really feeling what the responses is from the doctor. And he was like, I have my brother. He's one of the top foot doctors in Brooklyn. And I was like, what's the chances of that? So he calls him on the phone, right? The doctor picks up. And he's like, hey, what's up? Come see me Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there, see him Friday. His place is packed, tons of people there. He's like, you know what? He told the receptionist, you know what? Put him ahead of everybody. So I was like, damn, you give me the raw treatment? All right.
Okay, blessings.
So, so I
Like,
go get
okay, blessings.
so I go in there and Dr. Tunde, I'm gonna let him know everybody knows. You need he's at Brooklyn Hospital, one of the top foot doctors I could tell you that right now, hands down, one of the best. So I go there and he put you know what? Your surgery will be next week. So I never felt that comfortable. I went to many other doctors before.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, I would say it definitely gave me a chance to slow down, but then breaking my foot really made me a chance to really, really slow down. But on top of that, I was still having deals pending. I was still working with people,
Right.
high on every type of medication they gave me since I got the surgery. And it allowed me to really, really slow down because this is like the height of the summer. It's hot outside. I can't really do much. You know,
Right.
I'm in a cast. Foot can't move. You feel like you're gaining weight. I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But 2020 and the pandemic, it gave us and it gave me and my family the opportunity to actually build our home, from the ground up,
Right.
and it's been like that experience is. I don't think if it wasn't the pandemic, we would have, pulled that trigger to be able to go do it at that point. And it was like perfect timing. Like it was like God said, listen, you need to slow down. You need to slow down, really, really slow down, and really focus in and tune in on what your family needs are. So and it worked out. It worked out. It worked out great. I can't
I don't
even.
think we're ever gonna have an opportunity like this ever again. And I mean, I hate to say opportunity, but I'm gonna say I don't think we're ever gonna get the time to decompress the way we just did. I don't
Yep.
think that's ever gonna happen again. I mean, I really hope it doesn't happen like that. Like I'm really sad about all the deaths. I would say that because that was very like triggering. Like I think by like April, I was done with the TV. Like the news, I didn't watch the news
Yeah,
anymore after April. Like after April, it was a wrap. After they said I didn't have to go back to work inside, I was like, all right, I'm good on the news. I don't want to watch it no more. I just want to make sure my family is good, make sure everybody is good or whatever. You know, the amount of phone calls you get about people passing away from COVID was very
mhm,
triggering. But I mean, I don't think that we're ever going to get that time that we had where it's not like you're missing out on anything. Nothing is really going on. And for the first time, everything has completely stopped.
absolutely.
If you don't have to get something to eat, if you don't have to go to the hospital, stay in your house.
And it allowed you to like, I'm happy about it because even from the kids' standpoint, they were in tons of different activities, but we never really had the opportunity to like watch them grow up. You know, they could
Hmm.
be out 7 o'clock in the morning, come back, pick them up 6, dinner, shower, bed, back again out again. It was no
Right.
real major interaction at all with them. You know,
Yeah.
able to watch them over the last year just really just grow. You're seeing your kids like actually grow. You know, my son, you know, talking and doing all, you just see how creative they are. Like that was
Hmm. The
priceless.
virtual learning.
You were forced to stay with your family. Like they created this picture like you can't go near to nobody. Like that's it. You got to be with the people that's in your home and that's it. You know?
Exactly. That's exactly what was happening. I think like when I had my first child, I was like out of work, so I got a chance to spend like that first year and a half with her. And so when my son was born, I was like, I'm not going to be able to spend that much time with him. And I just every day at work, I was so sad. I was like, I miss my baby. And when the pandemic
Mhm.
hit, I think me and him slept the first month like, whoo, we don't have to get up, we don't have to run, we don't have to get on that train, I don't have to put that stroller up and down them stairs. We can just relax and chill. And he's been in this house running around crazy ever since. Now he can go to school. Now somebody can open up their school for him. Yeah,
Absolutely.
y'all could take him. He could be the only one in the classroom, but he has to go to school now.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. He's 1 year old. I can't believe we've been in this for a complete year.
Complete, yeah. And also too, like it would allow me to like tune in. They have a lot of free courses out there. Different colleges offering free courses. I picked up on, you know, learning about option trading and did, like it was just so much opportunity that I know I wouldn't have been able to have gained and knowledge I wouldn't have been able to gain if I didn't like literally just slow down.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm grateful for that. Like last year was a blessing,
Yes, in
complete blessing.
disguise, a blessing in disguise for most of us. You really have to think about what's important to you
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, people could be here today and definitely gone tomorrow, as
Yep.
cliche as it might be. I wanted to ask you, have you ever read a book called Outliers?
Yes, I have.
You have, you
Yes, I
did read
have.
that book
I did read that
about how
book. That was,
everything is so connected and not
hmm
as disconnected as you think it is. Like everything group of people. I think he Charlemagne has talked about the book and I read it because I think like Salt and Pepper was saying that they were all working at Sears with Kid
mm,
and Play and Martin Lawrence. Like
wow.
they all were working at Sears together, like as call reps. And like he was like, that's like some outlier stuff, like how everybody is like all like connected, like super connected like that. And like how everybody's past are like so intertwined before you like you even know it. I asked you that because you went to Dalton and like I have mad friends that went to the same college as you. Like as soon as I posted like, oh, you coming in the show, I was like, oh, that's my friend, that's my friend. I'm like, I never seen this guy before with y'all. I never seen him with y'all.
Yo,
When I became your friend.
it's so crazy. Like, and then I remember I think you went down to you went to school in Maryland. So,
Yes,
yo, how
I was a
and
Morgan.
you start to put like all these pieces together. I'm like, so where did we cross paths? You know, it was like, was it
Yo,
at this
we've
school?
been Facebook friends since like 2006. I've watched your children grow up on virtually.
You
Oh,
see,
look
and
at my niece and my nephews. Look at my niece and my
you know
nephews.
what's
Like,
so
look at
crazy?
her.
I really thought we probably went to Dowling together.
No, no. I don't even know where that school is at.
Oh my gosh,
I never even seen that school before.
that is
I
so.
never even saw that school. If you somebody asked me where
Yo.
that school was at, I'd be like, oh
No,
no. And
because
my friend
literally
was there.
a lot of my friends that was there, you know them, and it's like,
I know them. I don't know that where that school is at. I never
oh my
even been to
god,
visit. So
that
my
is,
friend, so Kels went there,
yeah.
but I don't remember seeing you with Kels.
Yeah, we hang. We well, not really much. 'Cause he's in the other dorm. I was in the other one on the other campus.
Right.
But
So
we
if you
crossed
didn't come
paths
to
a
the
lot.
city, you didn't come to the city and party with him, did you?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly. So it's like
But you also know
I know Adam.
Adam. You know Zeke. I know Zeke. We grew up
Yes,
play ball together.
yes, yes. I do know him.
We played
It's
ball
a,
together. So
it's outliers. I'm trying to tell you. Everybody is connected.
it's so true.
You
Everybody's
said I thought you went to Dallas. I don't even know where that school is at. Where is it?
it's in Long Island.
Seriously.
It's in Long Island.
I've never
That
even been to it before.
that is funny. That is so funny. I
No,
never
I
do.
mean,
I never question it because I'm like,
because it
what?
just happens.
Right.
I think this is how it happened. I'm almost sure this is how it happened. I believe that we were Facebook friends, but see, Facebook go back so far. Like I tell people all the time, I've been on Facebook since Mark was in college. Like Mark and me, Mark Zuckerberg was still at Harvard with
That is
me
true.
when I
You know,
was
because
on Facebook.
Facebook, you have to have a college email the only way to get on.
Right. I've been on there since 2005. So I've been on Facebook for 16 years. So when you go to show friendship and then you see you've been friends since 2006 and you see all the happy birthdays that we've sent to each other back and forth throughout the years, you
That is
start to
fun.
go, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought I just knew you from Instagram. Clearly, we know each other from further away, but it's about connecting the dots. We're not gonna be able to connect the dots yet. So yeah, Facebook is funny like that. Like
It's
really,
crazy.
really funny.
You could watch someone on Facebook or Instagram all every single day. And you really feel like you know that person. Like you'd be
Well,
like,
I
yeah, I
do
know
because
you.
y'all moved in. I was like, congratulations. I saw one baby come out. I saw two, three. I'm I'm their aunt. So all the kids can come
Yeah,
out so I can meet my.
that is funny, yo. That is
I'm telling you, I'm. People have been a part of my life this whole journey. They watching my daughter grow up on Instagram every
yeah,
day.
that's
People
true.
talk to her like they know her. She's like, "Who the hell is that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Auntie so and so." She's like, "I got so many aunts. Oh, who are these people?" They
That's
rooted for
funny.
you. Now my son is coming up. They watch me. They watching my whole life evolve. Like people are watching you evolve and grow. It's a beautiful thing to see some people, strangers, is champion you sometimes, and how
Yep.
you inspire people sometimes. How people look. Like I've never seen anything other than you and your family and your grind on your page.
That's
Like
really
one of the most positive Black fathers I know on Instagram is you.
appreciate that. Thank
Somebody
you.
probably gonna cut my ass later. I'm be like, not you, brother, but you, like, you have been about your family and your grind from the beginning. Like, you could just, if you go back to your page, like, I'm like, everything is about your kids, the activities, about your
Mhm.
family. It's about how do you stay grounded? And what advice would you give to these other
I
men
would
out
say
here?
I would say it's what my father and he pretty much instilled. He's been like God bless him. It's actually his 10th year anniversary since his passing this year.
Oh my God.
But what he did over the the 27 years that I was able to be blessed with him, like he was all about his family. Like it didn't nothing came above it. Like his grind, his hustle, his day-to-day life was all about his family. you know. And what made it so special was all like his hustle. Like he didn't even realize he had this hustle. But I
Hmm.
observed it, I watched it. I'm like, hey, this guy's he's no joke. Like he comes home, gets this, like he was just constantly hustling for the family. Like you never really never had to worry about food on the table. He made sure everything was there. My mom as well too, but my father, he was just special with it. And talking about someone that's didn't really have to worry about hiring somebody to cut the grass or hiring somebody to fix a light bulb. Like he was hands on everything he did. So it just automatically I adopted all of it. So anyone that
Mm.
knows me that I'm out. Trust me. Like the whole pandemic and everything else way before that. Like I do the food shopping, I cook, I clean. Like that's me. And I'm big on not waiting for someone else to do anything. I'm gonna do it myself. Like that's it.
Right.
That's what keeps me going because I'm not gonna sit back and sit and watch TV when I know there's clothes that got to be washed or the house needs to be clean. I'm just I'm getting it done because at the end of the day I want to
Right.
start my next day fresh. I don't want to have all this stuff that's happened in the past keep going. But I tell other men out there just don't sit back and just think that you can go hire somebody to do the work for you. Like you got to show and prove that you can do it yourself, because that's all.
Mhm.
That's all gonna, like, you know, reflect into your day to day, and your kids see it. Like my kids see it.
Right.
Like I take
Right.
them out to do showings. I show, like, I'm exposing them to the real estate game. I show them from young, you know. And the people, they, you know, some of the clients are like, "Hey, you brought your kids in?" Yes, I brought my kids. I want them to see exactly what I'm doing, so you can understand how I speak and I talk and how I handle clients and how I, you know, approach them to the game, showing them what, you know, different rooms, the texture, the tiles, the paint. They getting exposed to every single thing. You know, because at the end of the day, I want them to, when they later they go up, they're like, I've seen that already. I understand it. I know what this is. I know what a, you know, what a sofa is. I know what a, you know, a particular ceiling light looks like, or
Mhm.
resets lights, or, you know, granite, or stuff like that. So they know, you know, and then they only, you know, 9 and 8 and 4, but
That's
soon
the
to be.
right age. That's when everything starts to set in. Because after 10, it gets dark, child. I don't even know. I got an old kid in here. She getting crazy on me. But after that, it gets dark. So me and my friend had this conversation earlier today, and she was like, Mother's Day. Like she said, like her boyfriend showed her a picture of like Mother's Day. It was like Mother's Day, and it was like a full spread, or like it was Thanksgiving. And they had like Father's Day, and it was like a TV dinner. It
Mm.
was like one TV dinner. And she was like, that seemed about right. He was like, oh, that's whack. That's because women are too cheap to go ahead and buy food and do that. She said, mothers do all of the work, and it just feels like some fathers are just fathers for convenience. Like, what would you say to that thought?
You know what? And I think that's just because of that particular person that they might have been with that didn't show them more than what they, you know, that would show that woman more of what they're doing, you know. So they're expecting that, you know, they're putting all that responsibility on the woman instead of taking off some of that pressure that she's dealing with day to day. So
Mm-hmm.
it's automatically, it looks bad, because now when it comes to Father, you want to be celebrated, and then you get this little box and you're wondering why, but yet you want to say, oh, she's being cheap. No, what about, what did you do? You know, what did you do that helped, you know, nurture and care throughout the year that make this day more special? Because every day to me is Father's Day, and I never ask for
Right.
anything. If you know me, you guys, the wife, I don't ask for anything because I don't really want it. I don't need it. You know what I mean? Me, just you being present and you being available, that's all I need. I don't need anything. I don't need nothing after that all. And I purposely do that because I want, if you decide to do something, it's coming generally from you. Don't ask me for it. Don't ask me what I want. I want it to come
Mm-hmm.
directly from you. Like, you come from your heart and you give it from out of your heart with pure love, and I'll accept it with open arms. But I don't want you to ask me what I want, because I'm gonna tell you nothing. I don't need anything. You know.
So, I have a question. So, how important is it for you to leave a legacy behind for your kids? I know you said you take them on showings and you want to show them everything. Other coaches always take their kids to work.
Mm.
They've been putting their kids on to the game and letting them see how it's supposed to be done. So, how important is it for you to leave a legacy behind for your children?
That's probably like my number one priority, to make sure I leave a good legacy. I felt like my father left a good one,
Hmm.
and I'm just champion behind his in his shoes to leave an even better one. You know, um, and I feel like if it's anything I can do, I want to make sure when I leave this earth and then wherever I go, is that they say, listen, that guy gave 150%, and his kids experienced everything he experienced, and he gave them every single tool possible for them to succeed. And then that's like my core belief, and I stand on it. You know, my moral principles, my mom, everything that she has done. She fought a lot, you know, and being able to, you know, be a nurse and retirement, is being able to give back. Because honestly, like, I got to give it to her. My mom is amazing, you know, and she, although I, you know, she may think I'm a champion up, I do. I champion her way more than she could ever imagine. So I just really feel like, um, my legacy, just, I wanted to be left that, like, that guy definitely gave 110% in everything he did, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I hope so. Um, I hope that I'm leaving a good impression on everyone, um, and I'm really just doing it for the sake of my kids and my family. You know, it's not really for the show on Instagram and all of that. I just like celebrating. Like, I just love
And you
celebrating.
should, you should. We
You
need to
know,
normalize Black people celebrating without bragging. Know the difference between the celebration and the brag.
yeah, because I'm really
Know the
not.
difference.
I'm myself 24/7. I could put up an
Right.
ugly picture, my eyes puffy. I really don't care. That's me. You know, yeah, I could be in the tub, like, I laugh. That's just me. I'm not looking to be perfect. I'm just looking to be myself. You know, and that's it. You know, you like it, you love it, you don't. Oh well, I could care less.
Right.
You know, So I think that's what probably makes it so unique and why a lot of people like gravitate towards me. Like honestly, we
Mm-hmm.
had a housewarming the other day. If it wasn't COVID, I can tell you right now, it probably had been about thousands of people here. You know, thousands. It's just because of just the general person who I am. I'm
Right.
real. Like I don't really, champion myself enough, but I really think because who I am is why a lot of people just love being around me. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm tough on certain areas. To be honest with you, you can't come to me with nonsense. I'm like really like cold when it comes to it, but I do it for a reason. Like I demand the respect, and I want the respect back. You know.
Mm. So before I let you go, because it's dark and we can barely see you,
Oh, hold on.
uh,
Head up. Is this better? I'm outside. It's actually nice outside, so I figure I'd come outside. Actually, no, it's too dark. Let me go
you
inside.
know, we don't have land like you do. You have land behind you.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
can't feel the
you
temperature. I
can't
can
really
only feel
see
the
it.
window.
Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's pretty nice. Let me just go
Somebody
back
wants to
inside.
know, do you think it's still possible for millennials to afford to buy a home or a townhouse in New York City? You know, that could have been a question
Um,
mark.
I would say yes because there's a lot more millennials buying right now because what they did was a lot of them makes a lot of smart investments. I must say, and even like today with some of my showings I've been out to, um, many of them, uh, like for instance, like over the last year, their investments have grew so much that they're buying stuff almost all cash at this point. And talking
I used
about
to see that on the paper. They'd be like cash. Like they was gonna buy a $1.8 million home in cash. I'm like, cash.
cash, like cash. I mean, they're going in and they're buying stuff cash, and I'm seeing it. They showing me. I need to see proof of funds. And you look at their investment accounts, and you're like, you got how much? And you see these people, they look regular, like you and I.
So let me ask you, but before I ask you the last question. So what is your opinion on Dogecoin?
First of all, I'm gonna just take it to the crypto space. Period. So there's a shift in wealth happening, and Dogecoin is just—it's the people's coin, but it's exposing the light that what many other people. Your comments are off. I don't know what they're talking about. They turned the comments off. They
No,
say,
no, no, no. They
oh,
they stop. It's a stop. They stop talking.
okay. So I would say the economy is shifting, right?
Okay.
More digital way, but it's more so for like the security purposes. And people don't want the same old thing that we normally used to dealing with, stocks, bonds, but it's changing because what's more valuable right now is people's data, right? That's more valuable than gold, valuable than oil, and right now with Dogecoin, it's it's a joke, but it has to be taken serious now because the the market cap for it super exceeds some of the top companies you could think of. Ford, some other companies out there. It's
People
super
are starting to back it.
right. So as long as institutions start to more back it, it's going to be even. It'll be taken it'll come in as a stable. Right?
Baby, if y'all
But the
don't
only
see
but
me
the
no
only
more.
but the only problem with Dogecoin is that it's not a problem, but it could become a little saturated because of every year 5 billion coins gets put back out there, right? So it ends up becoming, it's only goes so far the value of it can go because so much continue gets produced. And also there's nobody backing it. There's no office. The original owners left. They wasn't
Somebody saying,
expecting it
please
to be
don't
like
get
this.
sucked into. Listen, Dogecoin is a flip. It's a flip. If you know what a flip is, it's a flip. Let me be quiet for the
But
police
if
come
you
and
were
get me.
like, think about like this, right? I'm actually in an investment group, right? And it's about probably about close to 1,000, no more than that. It's like 26,000 people in the group, 2,600 people in the group. Of that, probably like 500 people put in $600 last August, right? Just this is last August.
In
Um,
Dogecoin,
yes, last August.
don't
Some of
tell
them
me what it
sold.
looked like.
Some of them sold when it hit like I think it was a high point, like 40. Some of them
The
kept it.
40 cent mark is when it
Right,
got real spicy. Everybody's phone started going off at the 40
right.
cent mark.
So like even at 30, some of them started to sell off. But some of them left it. They still had
You
about
gotta hold it. You gotta hold
so
it.
they held it, and literally this week all became multi-millionaires.
Don't tell me about the $600 that turned them into
Yo,
millions.
just think about $600. That was it. So it's
Yo.
there's other coins out there too, though. So
Right, so I think it's a flip. Like you use Dogecoin to get your money up. Once you get your bread up, you put it into the Bitcoin. You put it into everything else.
yeah,
So you should get sucked into it because it's a flip. You gotta wait to that money because it's the best way to turn your money over. I put my money into Dodge and I moved it around. Listen, I've been watching it all day. I can't even focus. I'm like
yep,
every 5
everybody they
minutes.
are constantly looking at it. It's like even if it goes down, the
It don't
volume is
matter.
the volume is still so high. People are buying up the dips. Remember, like it's like stocks and bonds. You have
We waiting
people that
right
buy
now.
and
We
people that
waiting
sell.
right now.
Sellers.
Saturday is supposed to go up
Say
to a
hi.
dollar. Hi.
That's
How are
Skylar. She
you?
had to make sure she make her presence.
I know
All
that's my niece. That's my
right,
virtual niece.
thank
I
you,
know.
girl.
We all
Yeah.
waiting for Saturday. We all waiting for everybody is waiting on Saturday.
I,
This
I think
MF bet not disappoint us. See, the thing is, black people putting
okay.
their money up, and I said black people putting their money up. You don't play with black people and their money. So now that all the black people is jumping in this crypto,
Like,
y'all
listen, I
better
tell
get
people
this
like
right,
this.
or we gonna get
But I
left.
tell people this: if you're over 100% on your return and you feel like you're not sure the direction, pull out what you originally invested and leave the rest. That's the best way to play it.
Well, I
This way, there's
already moved some of it and put it in something else. But I'm gonna just leave the rest. I want to buy some more when the dip happened. Now I told people about it. People was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Listen, when somebody tell me something, I pay attention. I'm gonna do the research.
and
I'm gonna
so
say,
some of the biggest days for crypto is Friday and Sunday. A lot of
oh
people
my
don't know.
God,
So
yo,
that's why it's so big that SNL is late.
yo, I sold all my stocks. I'm not playing with none of these stocks no more. Everything is
Yeah.
crypto.
All,
That
all
that
I
is them
all
stocks
I
is
kept was
trash.
Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and I have a couple other OTC stock under the table stocks.
No, I don't
Off the
have
table
no
stocks,
more
yeah.
stock. I had like some off brand stocks that I had like something in like tobacco. I had another company called Nicola. Yo, it was like $21 per share. It's like $8 a share right now because the CEO of the company did something crazy and the company is kind of like going out of business. I said, whoa.
Right.
Okay,
So
well, let me just get
what I'll
whatever I
tell you
got
to
out
get
of
into
here.
right now is Safe Moon. I'll send you a
Wait, no, don't tell nobody that because I can't even get into it right now. You don't get
I,
that
I'll
gym
tell
here. That's not the gym.
I'll give them that Safe Moon and
No, because
I'm just getting no, I
it's
just want to give
under
them
a
the back.
penny.
I want to give them the background on it a little bit
Now
and
everybody gonna
why
jump on
it's
Safe Moon. Please let me
why
get
is
my
it
money on it first.
yeah why is it so innovative behind it, right?
Why? Because everybody is waiting.
You don't have to wait. You can get into it now. But what's
No,
so
I'm
innovative
saying
is
waiting for it to go up.
it's gonna go up.
Oh my God, I gotta hurry up. Please, I'm
It's
gonna have to
smart. It's smart
DM
how
you on the side.
the developers behind it. The coin is very very smart. People think it's a scam, but it's actually not. If you look into the back end and look at the white papers of it, it makes
I can't
very
get
good
into it
sense.
in New York City. I
Yes, you
can't seem to. I
come on.
can't. Well, I'm gonna just have to hit you on the side because I'm trying to, and I
Okay,
have like all the other
I'll show
stuff.
you. I'll
Please
show
do.
you.
Please do it for no. Show me the way for dummies. Don't show me the way for you. Show me the way for dummies so I
No,
can do
I'll
it
show you. I'll
now.
show you the most easiest way to do it.
Please do.
I'll show you the way
Please.
to do it.
Please, because I
It's a
don't want to
lot.
be
It's a
out.
lot.
I don't be left out the party.
It felt like brain like you doing like brain surgery for the first couple of days. I was like, yo, how do you do this? And then I figured it out. It's a lot. I'll show you how to do it. And
Look
you'll
at my
have
face. If
I'll
y'all
show you.
don't see me going live no more, because I bought my own little small island and I'm done with life over here in the States. Y'all can keep this.
Listen, it is I tell people right now, it's that and another one called Telcoin.
Don't give all these people all of that, because
I'm just giving them
once we
two.
all jump on,
I'm getting them
those
two.
are the two best ones.
Yeah.
Look at my
Yep.
person, you better call me. So I don't want to hold you up no more because I know you got family, everything. But leave a gem before you go. That's the way you gotta leave the show. You gotta leave the people with something. But you gave us so
Real
much,
gem.
and also you gave us cryptocurrency information.
Absolutely. My gem for today. I think my biggest gem would be take responsibility of your life, and don't allow the elements on the outside divert you from who you are, because I think a lot of times people allow the elements of the world and social media and everything else to dictate where they want to be instead of just doing what's truly best for you. So I would say just be true to yourself, be well, and continue to watch your lives.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You dropped so many gems. People are taking so much information. I appreciate you coming on here. I know I know it's creepy the way I come to people and be like, you want to come on here with me? So I do
No, it's
appreciate you
cool. I think
doing
it's
that.
cool though. I think I need to do more speakers like this, more
Yeah,
engagement.
I like to hear
You
you
know,
speak. Very
it's
good.
tough.
Listen, we
You know
don't
what it
have
is.
too many men that go ahead and speak like that. And,
Mhm.
and it doesn't come from a very cocky place. It comes from a very genuine, humble place. We need more
Absolutely.
brothers like you out here educating us on what's going on.
Absolutely. You know, I sit back, I watch things, and I'm like, I pick and choose my times I want to get into it. Speak and whatever case may be. But other times I'm like, you know what? Let me just fall back and enjoy myself, and But I do like this conversation, this open conversation. It feels free, feels genuine, and you're great. So, although my Facebook friend from 2006 that I thought he was in
Come
college,
on, but I don't know where that school is at.
can't
But
make this
thank
up.
you, thank you, thank you. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm about to hit you up about the safe move.
Oh no, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna show you how to do
All
it.
right,
I'll walk you
all
through it.
right then. All right.
All
Good
right.
night, everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Stay
Bye.
up. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Bye.